Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Lilu nishmas imi mirosi ruspas Mordechai. Listen to this unbelievable Maisa. I love this Maisa. Tzaddik by the name of Aaron Meislik asked on one of the chat groups for a vart that ties in the Daf Yomi with him being a Chasen Torah. He anticipated purchasing the Chasen Torah. So he asked for a vart. Shapsik Cohen, famous Shapsik Cohen from Beitar, he wrote him a vart. Chesed. Gave him a vart. I'm going to read the vart. Shapsik Cohen goes until we started the shul. The shul bought him Chasen Torah because they realized how dedicated he is to the daf. So he had a vart ready. So here's the vart. We learned in Kesubos, after Rebbe was nifter, immediately they went back to learn. And they weren't doing any hesped. We're not more than Moshe Rabbeinu. That says by Moshe Rabbeinu, which is the last psukim of V'zos HaBracha, which the Chasen Torah reads. Besides being a hug from Shamayim, when the daf coincides with the Yom, as Reb Eli regularly says, it's also an appropriate lesson for the last day of the holiday period. Some of us might have temporarily dropped out of our fixed learning schedule. Says the Gemara, right after the 30-day period is over, don't waste another day. Get right back onto the bandwagon and learn the daf. You see an additional lesson of the Torah. As soon as the Chasen Torah finishes the Torah, someone may think it's time for a break. Right away, the Chasen Beis gets up and makes a fresh start. Yeshur koyach.
Same thing about Hakel on the time, right?
Catching up on the daf in the NICU. With Hashem's help and miracles, we are blessed with a baby girl Tuesday night on my father-in-law's yahrzeit. There are no coincidences. What better time to catch up on the daf than hanging in the NICU with love from Surfside, Florida, the Bellinsons. Unbelievable. It used to be somebody has a kid in the NICU, you hang out in the NICU, you look at the ceiling, you talk to the doctors over here, we're learning Torah. What better way to help the baby than to learn Torah? Unbelievable. I'm a Torah anytime listener. I don't do it yomi, but I binge listen occasionally on 1.5 speed in the background when I'm busy with something else that doesn't require a lot of thought, like driving. I saw this post some time ago and I thought you might appreciate. What he's doing doesn't require a lot of thought, like driving. Yeah, good. I like that. Yeah. So he brings here from a professor. One of my college professors used to say, anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. I didn't understand that for years because I didn't do anything poorly. I couldn't do anything poorly. I had to do everything perfectly. But brushing your teeth for 30 seconds is better than not brushing them at all when 2 minutes seems exhausting. Doing 10 minutes of yoga is better than 10 minutes of sitting when 30 minutes of cardio sounds impossible. Changing my clothes is good when a shower is impossible. Standing on the porch for a few minutes is worth it after being in the house for 3 straight days because I don't have the energy to go anywhere. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly because doing it poorly is better than not doing it at all. Occasionally, binging the daf is better than zero learning. Vlad. Very good. So Be'ezer Hashem, that will get him into it. Doing it yomi. Doing it poorly, you do it. A lot of people in here do it poorly, and Be'ezer Hashem, we're going to do it better this year. Heshi Hepst. B&H MDY member wearing swag and learning on the LIRR, the Long Island Railroad. Just signed up for the Manchester Sim. Looking forward to meeting you in the Chevra with regards to Shnai Mikra. Rabbi Sai, very, very interesting news. I heard this morning that the first group of Shnai Mikra is already full. That means over 515 people signed up. What's also very, very interesting, that one of the big tzaddikim of MDY, somebody who supports MDY, I don't know if he wants his name yet, he said that anybody that signs up to Shnai Mikra and commits to Shnai Mikra is going to get some sort of gift. He has to speak to Art Scroll, a sefer of some sort, something interesting to any single person. That's mamish chesed, nothing to do with the daf. He's a big daf guy, but he wants people to do Shnai Mikra also. Now, if anybody has a good Dvar Torah and wants me to say it, Kol Kavod, send. I have 0 right now, and I don't anticipate even looking into the Chumash yet until 5 o'clock. I need to give 2 shiurim today. Yeah, Shapsai Cohen. Shapsai, I need a Dvar Torah, please, on Bereshis, weekly. No, let's start 1 week at a time. By the way, the Shir on Matzah Shabbos Be'ezer Hashem has to be slightly earlier because I need to catch a flight. 8:30. And don't bring a raya just because I was able to do it this week. I don't even know if I'm able to. 8:30 sharp, taxi waiting outside. Okay. What do you got? I have to read the entire thing? For what? Oh, Sunday. Not this Sunday. Next Sunday. I don't like the price, so we have to do something about the price. Yeah, we are changing it. The Siyum for RBS is in Cafe Rimon in the big fashion mall. We got the whole back room over there. It's 100 shekel a person, even though it cost us 130 or 140. So it's going to be subsidized from MDY. Those who can't afford the 100, please speak to Noam, who's not going to be here for the next week. So if you can't reach him, he's in Kenya. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to talk about that in front of Dov Harris. Okay. I hope he's not listening to that part. I did it on purpose. I split the part. Listen to this. With regards to Shnai Mikro, Baruch Hashem, I finish it every week with Rashi. Guys. This is not, we're not doing the daf now. We're doing emails. It has to be complete quiet. With regards to Shnai Mikro, Baruch Hashem, I finish it every week with Rashi. What? What's going on? What's the chatter here? What? The hack. Okay, listen, I can't think. I need to concentrate on the email. With regards to Shnai Mikra, Baruch Hashem, I finish it every week with Rashi. The way I do it might help others. This is why we have the group. Ideas like this could go a very long way. I split the parsha without Targum into 6. So every day I read from Rishon to Revi. Then Revi to Shishi. Then Shishi to the end of the third, on the third day. The Kitzer, in 3 days, he finishes the whole parsha Chumash. He knows what the parsha is talking about. Start again, so the Mikra has been completed by the end of the week. The Targum, I do on Shabbos. Kitzer has his own way. No, I in the Mishnah Berurah, for me, it works a lot better. For me, personally, it's not like the Mishnah Berurah. I do the whole parsha in one shot, in one day. And then I do that aliyah with the Targum. I can do 2 aliyahs with Targum. If someone finds it hard to complete all of Rashi, they can attempt to do until Sheni, and then next year, Sheni is Shlishi. Oh, with regards to Rashi, I use the Chumash, Rashi Kipshutai. Very geschmack, the way to learn Rashi Kipshutai. And divide the pages. He counts the pages every parsha, and he divides those pages into the amount of days to do the amount of pages per day. Very interesting. Now, if somebody has a hard time doing Rashi, he says, you can do until Sheni, and next year do Shlishi. Thanks for the amazing share. Zevritvo Manchester. All daf. Okay, looking forward to meeting Zev. Here we have, in New York City, there's a siyum on Wednesday, October 26th, Agudas Yisrael, Beis Binyamin, Avenue L. The cost is $36. Similar to here in Eretz Yisrael. Sponsorship, welcome. MDY siyum. Okay, let's jump into the sponsors. The Koilo, Lili Nishmas Chai Bas Yosef. The Mesechta, Lili Nishmas, Yosef Baruch ben Moshe Aaron, and Lili Nishmas Moshe Elazar ben Nata Shalom, and for the hatzlacha b'chol hayonim and for my children. The second sponsor of the Mesechta is Jeff Rosner. I just heard bad news that his son's back in the hospital, difficulty breathing. And zchus of my son, Yosef Simcha Chaim ben Sarah Chana, Refuah Shlaima, Amen. The rest of the Mesechta, Ofishel Mitzva Motivators, Avraham Nachum ben Chana Bracha, Refuah Shlaima. Parnas HaChodesh, last day, the nishmas zechariya ben Moshe, the last Parnas HaChodesh and the last day. Oi! Parnas HaShavua, Vladislav Zakharov, and the zchut that I finished my research by February. Parnas HaShavua, number 2, L'zeich nishmas Avraham Nachum ben Refoel Yitzchak. All right. I did have a list. I wanted to say some names of the people that donated over $100 monthly, like Mark Ashkenazi and Rennert. What's his name? Abe Rennert, whatever. Okay. Zogt the Gemara. So we had in the first Mishnah of Shnei Dayanim Xeris. We're talking about the 2 Dayanim out of hundreds. We said there's hundreds of Dayanim in Yerushalayim. 2 of them were able to make Xeris. First of all, before we start, Shalom Aleichem to all the guests. What's your name, Tzaddik? What's your last name? Maximum. Those people related to you, behind? Father, Shalom Aleichem. And? Shalom Aleichem. Nice to meet you. From?
Queens, New York.
Queens in Tel Aviv. Beautiful. Who else do we have here? New guest, new. A Landsman. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Rabbi Bornstein. Yisrael it is? Israel Bornstein from Skokie, a landsman. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Dovi Spiro. You're Baruch Spiro's son? Wow. Baruch Spiro is my first boss, I guess. I learned how to, he's an electrician. I learned electric by him for 2 years. Back in the 90s. Wow. Okay. Shalom Aleichem. You're a landsman? What? A nephew. Very nice. Okay. Shmak, some regards. Are you the guy that I called your mother to say you gave a good pshat? That's your brother? You remember that story? No, but it's not. It's not you. No, I gave a shir. What happened was I was giving shir in that das, and one of the spirit boys, I don't know who, maybe you say it's a brother, came over and asked me a kasha on the sugya. Middle shir, he just was standing, walking around, and asked me a sugya. So I called up your mother, and I gave her a nachas report, but she didn't pick up the phone, and it was on a, what is it called? One of those answering machine in those days. So somebody told me like a few weeks later that she was going around and showing people the recording. She was telling, look, he said that my son said a great pshat. And that I used it a few times in shir. Like you just give one compliment and you just make a phone call. It's 10 seconds. That's all it was. And how much I know she had. Okay, fine. That was years ago. I don't do that anymore. We don't have time for that. Shkoyach, Jonathan, always can count on you. So, the Shtei Dayanim Gzeros. We have 2 Dayanim who make Gzeros. And we're going through them. Admoin and Chanan. And the different things that are not related so much sometimes to Kesubos. So we had it all the way in the first Mishnah. The Chanan says, if somebody went on a trip, went out of the country, went on a safari somewhere, and his wife demands mezainas, so Chanan says that for a ksuba, she has to swear. But for mezainas, she doesn't have to swear. That's where we're holding. Daf Kuf Zayin is today. Last words on Kuvav Amud Beis. Mi shaholach l'medinas hayam. Itmar. So we have a machloikis here. We're going to be dealing with this machloikis the entire day today until we get to the Mishnah. And Amud Beis, we get to the Mishnah. And we're basically going to be dealing with Shmuel Shita. We're going to attack Shmuel over and over and over. Not so much that we're not going to be that successful, but at the end of the day, we're going to pass like Rav. What's a machloikis? Rav Omar, poiskim mizonis leishisish. A woman who's married, she comes, she says her husband left her without anything. Rav says we give her support, we give her sustenance, we give her something to live on. Shmuel Omar, ein poiskim mizonis leishisish. No, we don't trust her, we don't know. Let's see what the svaras are. But basically, this shita, and we have to remember this shita, Shmuel, because that's the one we're going to be attacking over and over. Shmuel Amar ein poiskim mezainis leishasish. And we're going to bring rayas that you do give mezainis to somebody who's married, who claims her husband went away, never came back. We do take some of the assets of the husband and sell them off in order to give her mezainis. Amar Shmuel moideli Abba. Abba is famous. Rav is Abba. This is a normal human being doesn't leave his wife without anything. He thinks he's going on a trip for 3 months. He's going to leave her enough mezainis for 3 months. This woman comes a week later after he leaves and says, oh, my husband left me and he didn't give me any money. I need to sell his property. We don't trust her. A normal person doesn't act like that. If we hear that the guy died, then everybody agrees that it's time to sell assets and give mezainis because he didn't anticipate. Why? So we're going to see soon. We have 2 svaras over here. No, straight away, because now there's no chashash that maybe he gave her money. Why? Because she gets a ksuba. And she has to swear that she doesn't have anything. So if he did indeed give her money when he left, she has to give it up. She has to talk about it in her shvuah. She's going to have to swear. We're also going to see a svara of tzimai siyadayach l'mzonusayach. There's 2 svaras in the sugya. Tzrare, that maybe the guy gave her a bag of money before he left, and she's hiding it. And also, maybe he made a deal with her. He said, listen, up until now, I was getting your salary and I was supporting you. Now, take your own salary, support yourself. But over here, we're talking about that he's dead already. He's dead. So there's no Maisi Yadayim, there's no deal like that. So therefore, she gets right away. We have Eidim that came and said he's dead. Okay. What about the Yisayimim? What about the Yisayimim? Maybe the Yisayimim could say, Tzi Maisi Yadayim Zeinasayach. Yeah? The Yisayimim that say, listen, we don't want to support you. Support yourself. Could Yisayimim do that? The answer is that no one could do that. Even a husband can't tell a wife, go support yourself. Well, let's make a deal. I keep my money for myself. I don't support you. You have a good job. You're a lawyer. Support yourself. A husband can't do that unless she agrees. So if the Yisayim don't agree, then she doesn't agree to the Yisayim, then there's no question at all. You can't think maybe they said something like that. Too bad if they said it. They don't agree to her. She doesn't agree to them. Says the Gemara. Where's the machlek between Rav and Shmuel whether or not a woman could demand mezainas? It's after 3 months and we don't know if he's alive or dead. He just didn't show up. Rav says we start selling off assets and we give her mezainas. Why? Because there's a shibud. He owes it to her. Shmuel Amar ein poiskin. My time. Rav Zid Amar eimot tzrori atvaso. We have to be concerned that this guy gave her a bundle of cash and she's hiding it and she wants more. We're concerned that he made a deal with her and she accepted the deal, says Rashi, because she has to accept the deal. You earn your own money and I'm not going to give you any mezainas. Now that he's gone in Medina Hayam, she has the chutzpah to come to Bez and say, we didn't make a deal and he owes me mezainas. Where do we see a practical difference between the two svaras? If she's an adult and she doesn't earn enough money for her own mezainas, so if the pshat is like we just said, she doesn't earn enough. If she doesn't earn enough, she needs mezainas. But if the pshat is tzrari atvasa, she's a gdoila. So if she's an adult, we have to be concerned that maybe he gave her a bundle of cash. She's not going to lose it. Inami, or another nafkamin is ktana v'sapka. The opposite. She's a ktana. So if she's a ktana, there's no way in the world her husband gave her a bag of cash. You know what happens to a bag of cash if you give it to a child? So nobody in their right mind is going to give a lot of cash to the little kid. But it's possible that she's a lawyer. She's a 10-year-old doctor. I don't know what. In those days, they didn't have these rules. She earned a good living. So maybe he made a deal with her. So there's a concern that he doesn't owe her mezainas. He made a deal with her. What? Yeah. Yeah, but you also have to, this is a umdina. A guy goes on a trip. What happened there? You as a dayan.
So you prove it that there was any.
Yeah, but there's normal human behavior.
You have a proof to me. Now prove to me that something's changed.
I hear.
Take the guy's assets and start to sell them in order to produce the money to feed this girl.
And that's also might see saying.
Instead of he has a chiyuv. You already has a shibud to her on that. Oh,
and
yeah.
Fulfill that.
Show me that the change.
Okay. Look in the bottom over there. It's not. Okay, so now, what does that have to do with us? As usual, we're going to prove it from our Mishnah. First thing. Somebody went out of the country and his wife demands mezainas right away. Chanan says that she makes a shvuah for soif always means the ksuba, tchila means the mezainas, and they argue with him. She has to make a shvuah for the ksuba, a shvuah for the mezainas. Says the Gemara, let's be midai. The whole machlokes is whether or not just to swear or not. Shmuel says she doesn't get mezainas. She does get mezainas. The question is whether or not she has to swear. But mezainas, of course, she gets. Shmuel okay, we're talking about a case where even Shmuel is going to admit that she gets mezainas. Why? Because they heard that he died. Got to say the story, even though I just said it a few weeks ago. There was a woman in the nursing home. They called up her son. They said, listen, your mother died. So they went, they made a levaya, the whole thing, Shiva. And then all of a sudden, after the Shiva, the son gets a phone call. It's his mother on the phone. Where are you? I'm waiting for you. It's already, what's going on? You used to come every week. She says, what? Ma, you're alive? Yeah, I'm alive. So it turns out that they buried the wrong woman. Shama Shemeis. Shama Shemeis.
They told the wrong person.
Yeah. Shkoya. Very good. We miss you, David. He said, David, if you didn't hear, they buried the right person, they told the wrong person. Something like that. So he said it better. How did you say it?
They buried the right woman, they told the wrong person.
They buried the right woman, they told the wrong person. So he calls up the other family and he says, listen, there was a mistake. We buried your mother and we thought it was our mother. So the woman on the other line says, wow, Ma, you beat us. You won. They had a whole machlokes if she should be cremated or buried. She wanted to be buried like a Jew. And the daughter said, no, cremating you. She said, I have nothing to do with you. And she was zchus to Jewish burial because of that mistake. Says the Gemara. Toshma. Says in the Brayse, if someone goes to Medina Sayyam and his wife demands mezainis, okay, but part of the same thing like we had in our Mishnah, everybody agrees that there's mezainis over here. Question is, shvua, no shvua. V'imba v'omar posakti lo mezainis, neman. So now why does Gemara Yosef, you're going to love this. Mic drop. You don't even know how long it is. Okay. Somebody buy some food for Yosef. Set up, do some sponger for him. I got to give another shir soon. I don't know when. Like 10 o'clock. You ready? 10 o'clock? Yeah, okay, fine. I was supposed to give the shir last night at 9 o'clock. Then I pushed it off to 10, then to 11. Once it was already pushed off to 12, I said, forget it. It's like when I'm going to come home at 1 o'clock and Gary, we'll do it tomorrow. It's always good to push things off like that. Okay.
Remember that for the flight.
Yeah. No, as long as we don't push it off in the safari, we're good. Okay. Says the Gemara. So no, but why does the Gemara ask from a brisa? It's the same exact word for word that we just said from the Mishnah. The answer is this line right over here. Vimba. If the guy gets up, the husband comes back. What are you talking about? I gave her enough. Neman. You see? Over here you see against Noam, like Rabbi Steinar, that she's the mighty. Why is he Neman? Okay, Neman. So we're going to answer the same thing as we answered on the same words that we said before, and the same answer. Talking about that there was a rumor that he died, there's Adam that say he died, and if he died, even Shmuel admits, she gets mezainis. But the problem is, typically speaking, dead people have a hard time walking. It says that the dead person walked in, and he said, I'm here, and I paid mezainis. So what do you mean he's dead? You heard that he's dead. He's alive. Okay, so we have to say, that's why the Gemara brought the question from here, because you have this added problem. There was a rumor, the Adam came, and we heard he's dead, and now he shows up. Toshma, Mishalach, Limdina Sayam Vishtoi, Tivas Mezainis. There's a person who went out of the country and his wife demands Mezainis. I gotta say this mice also. I said it once before, we have to say it again. I'm serious. It's a very, very good Maisa. This guy died. He's the miser of the town. The Kamtzen never gave a dime to anybody, anything. So Reb Eli Yitzchak, he got up there by the Levine. He says, I want to tell you a story about this person. A few stories. His first story he said was that a guy left town, and before he left, he told his wife, don't worry about it, you're taken care of. I spoke to the miser. He didn't call him the miser, the Kamtzen. I spoke to Reb Shlaima over there. He's going to give you 3 ruble every week. You have nothing to worry about. Like, it never, that's what he just told. He to auction so he could get out of town quickly without her. So she went to the guy, knocks on the door, says, my husband said you made the arrangement. He says, yeah, what was the arrangement? 3 ruble. Okay, no problem. He gives her 3 ruble. Every week he gave her 3 ruble. The husband comes back from his long trip, months later. He walks into the house, he can't believe it. Everything's geschmack. They're eating meat, spaghetti, the whole thing. What's going on? He says, Dagim tuna. No. The guy, what do you mean? The guy that you said, the 3 ruble, gave it 3 ruble. The husband is in shock. So he goes, he knocks on the guy's door. He says, what's going on? He says, what's going on? She says, okay, I want to pay you back. So he said, no, I'm not taking, what I did, chesed, I'm not taking money from you. A big fight, and they went to Reb Eli Yitzchak. And Reb Eli paskin that he doesn't have to take the money from him. It's his mitzvah, you can't take the mitzvah. He says, you think that he's this guy? I was scared to say the story because a lot of people are going to say, yeah, that's why I don't give any money to MDY and I don't give it to the shul because I'm that guy. No, you're not that guy. It's that guy. That guy was niffed already, whatever. Fine.
You should say it was yesterday.
It was yesterday? Wow, I did not know. And the Ksav Sefer? Ksav Sefer. Next time tell us on the yard site. No, Be'emes, I didn't know. Yesterday was the Ksav Sefer's yard site and the Kedishas Levi. All right, Zog the Gemara. So her husband goes to Medina Sayam. She comes and she demands mizoinus, the 3 ruble. If the guy says there's a deal, you don't give me, I don't give you, Rashai. Kadmu bezenu pasku. But if Bezin went ahead beforehand and they gave her Masha Pasku, he cannot go back and undo a Bezdin. It's too weak of a taina that he has. But you see from here that Shmuel holds, it's a kash on Shmuel, because you see over here that you could go, Bezdin go, and they take mizoinus, they give her mizoinus. Right? Again, what's the whole question of the whole daf? If a woman's husband is not here, and she demands food, is there a chair over there for these chevra? Shalom aleichem, guys. Where are you guys from?
From Los Angeles.
Come, Shalom. If you're already coming all the way here, might as well give a handshake. What's your name? Gittelman. Shalom aleichem. Have a seat. From, both of you from Los Angeles?
I'm from New Jersey.
New Jersey. You're from Los Angeles. You're from the, what's it called? The Mishmar thing. Thursday night Mishmar. You ever heard of that? No, you don't know.
No.
Shlomo Elazar. I only know one guy from Los Angeles. No, I know Harry Shalom. What am I talking about? I know a bunch of guys. Okay. Kapara alecha. Yeah. Says the Gemara. Thank you. Where are you guys in yeshiva? Leva Torah. Okay, very nice. We're going to have the same answer. We're talking about that there was a rumor that he died, and there's a rumor that the husband died. Even Shmuel admits that this is Mizayis. Tashma. Mishal. Somebody goes to Medina Sayam, Bezdin could go into his property, sell off the assets. Ooh. Davaracha, what does Davaracha mean, Rabbi Isai? PIG can mean anything, right? Saras, Znos, that, everything. Over here it means something like really left field. And then what does the Gemara say when we use the word davar acher? My davar acher? What does it mean? Okay. He's not mechuyev. A father's not mechuyev. Unlike standard law today, father's not mechuyev to support his own children. If they're above 6 years old, let them fend for themselves. Omer av sheishes. So you see over here that you go ahead and you give her mezainis, not like Shmuel. The guy had a shalish. He had somebody over there, and he disappeared on them, whatever he did over there. But you see that, first of all, he didn't give her money. He didn't give her a tzrara. He didn't give her a bag of cash before he left, because he put somebody in charge. And there's no there's no way that he said, fend for yourself, use your own salary. I'm not giving you mizanis, because he gave her an apotropos. There was a third person involved, third party. Ihachi, I don't know what the chiddush is. Ihachi, I'm in a different sugya. Ihachi, barav of noisav nami. If he's such a nice guy and he's putting people in charge, he's a caring person. So don't you think he cared about his own sons and daughters? Says Gemara, no. Adarabah, kishishru l'zoi, v'lo yishru l'zoi. He said specifically, I don't want to support my sons. Talking about a miser, I don't have enough money for my kids, only for my wife. My Pasco. Meichetes to learn it like that. The whole rumor was only a one aid. And that we had extensive sugyas that with one aid, a woman is allowed to get married, right? If a woman hears that her husband died with one aid, she's allowed to get married, daiko mitzvah, the whole sugya. We punish her with like 16 different punishments if she's wrong. She's going to be very, very careful. In order that she shouldn't be an aguna, we allow one aid. And now, if she could get married, does she get a ksuba? Yeah. We allow her to get married, that means we also allow her to get a ksuba. If she wants to get married with one aid, she can get married. So therefore, we could give her mezainis based on the fact that we trust her that her husband died. You can't go into somebody's property, start taking Yerusha based on one aid. And therefore, we don't give them mezainis. Now, just to finish up that sugya, my davar acher, what does it mean when you say davar acher? They used to wear, here I have a picture, they used to wear like a necklace with, they used to emit perfume, like sort of in France today, you don't want to take a shower for 6 months, you just spray a lot of deodorant and you go weiter. That's what they did. So, we don't support her for tachshit. Why not? So, if you look, I don't know if everybody has it, I have a Likutei Rashi here on the side. I'm sure a lot of Gemaras have the new ones. And it says almost towards the end, like 6 lines from the end, it's a Rashi in a different place. He says, where's this? In Shittim Kubetzes, brings it here. Fine. I'll read it for you. The whole perfume is that he should have a taiva for her. He's not there, so he doesn't care. Why should she smell good? So Mela, he doesn't give it to her. It's not part of the deal. Rav Yosef Amar tzedakah, that we don't, if somebody is Medinas Hayam, we don't take from his assets, we don't sell off his assets so that he could give tzedakah. Maybe he's giving tzedakah where he's at over there. He's in another country, he's giving tzedakah over there. We don't have to worry about his tzedakah. Says the Gemara, if davar acher means we don't take money for perfume, kolchkin tzedakah. Certainly we're not going to support people he doesn't even know. He's not even supporting his own wife. So certainly he's not going to support Anim. Other people take care of it. Sponsored as a zchus to continue being able to support Torah and to finish Shas with the Reb Eli Yishkoya. Not saying it twice. We'll say it one day later. I don't say it twice. Mandom tzedakah aval tachshit yavinala. And the mandom says that you don't take money out of his assets to give tzedakah. Okay, that makes sense. Don't take money. But for the wife, you do have to provide whatever it is. She needs the tachshit, she needs the perfume, she give it to her. The loinichalei, the tisnavel. So it says Gemara Svar, because at the end of the day, even though he's not there, unlike what Rashi was saying one tzad, but the other tzad is, at the end of the day, it's his wife. He doesn't want her to be menuvel, to walk around disgustingly. Toshma. Huh? This guy is already dead. Yeah, we don't know for sure. It's a dechod, yeah. We're not 100%. Okay. Toshma.
He was supposed to do this before he left. He's dead now. He was supposed to do this before he left. So he was supposed to give her a tachshit.
No. He plays regular stuff. He's not a something special. Right. Is it included in his regular mezainis and stuff? Yeah. Does he have to give her clothing? Yeah. That's zon and mefarnasi. Zon and mefarnasi. It's two things. It's mezainis and clothing. Is this included in the?
Does he care?
Yeah. I hear. Toshma. Somebody's husband dies. Now she falls liibom. She either has to marry her brother-in-law, or her brother-in-law has to give her chalitza. And we know that the first 3 months after a person loses a husband or gets divorced, she can't get married. Why? Because maybe she's pregnant, and we have to differentiate between the first husband and second husband. We have to know who the kid is, whose kid it is. So Mela, the first 3 months, she can't get married to anybody, so she's still under the first husband. So Nizanis Mishal Bala, she still gets Nizanis from the husband. Mikam Ve'ilach, in Nizanis Lim Shal Bala, Lim Shal Yava. Now, since she's Zakuk, she has a connection to the Yavam, but the Yavam didn't marry her, so she's, at the end of the day, she's not in her husband's Rishus, she's more in the Yavam's Rishus, but the Yavam didn't decide yet. So she doesn't get Mizanis at all. Ahmed Bedinu Barach. All right, so he decides that he's going to marry her, but then he runs away, got cold feet, runs. Mizanis Mishal Yavam. Then that's it. We penalize him. Listen, what are you running away? You said you're going to marry her, so marry her. Either give her a chalit. You don't want to give her chalit, so you can't just run away. She can't remain in Aguna forever. So you have to give Mizanis. So at the end of the day, you see, just like over here, Mizanis, she gets Mizanis. So if she gets Mizanis from a Yavam, certainly she should get Mizanis from her husband that ran away. Okay, but over here, by Yavam, we don't have the same svars that we had on Amud Aleph. By a husband that runs away, he's in a chutz la'aretz, we're concerned maybe he gave her a lot of cash before he left. No, we're not concerned that a Yavam gave her a lot of cash. If there's no concern that he gave her a lot of cash, pay up, give her Mizanis. Why didn't he give her cash? He doesn't know her. He's not close to her. Why would he give her a lot of cash? And what about the fact that maybe he doesn't have to give Mizanis because maybe he did a deal with her? You work, support yourself. She's not mechuyev to give her. Even if she gets Mizanis from him, she doesn't have to give him her Maisi Yadayim. Toshma. She went on a trip with her husband, and she comes back and she says, my husband died. Somewhat connected to the parsha. This is not my Dvar Torah. Alavai should be as good. The Ramban says something very interesting. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu separate Adam and Chava? They're already connected. Great marriage. And Mamish connected. He says, no. That's not a good recipe for good marriage. To be connected all the time, like in Corona. The people were in the same house. A lot of people got divorced. Fakert, you have to be separated and come back once in a while. They want to stick a vacation. They were too close together. They got divorced. Died, whatever. Inspiration. This is geschmack for say this over your Shabbos meal. See what happens. I'm not going to be here on Sunday, so I don't care. By the time I get back from the safari, you'll all be healed. What? That's right. We're going on a Shalom Beis trip, men only. It's mamish. We're trying to be kind of Ramban. Okay. She comes and she says, my husband died. So if she wants, either she could get support, but once she gets her ksuba, she could also get ksuba. Once she gets her ksuba, she doesn't get anything. Says the Gemara, Girshani Bali. Oh, my husband divorced me. Too much vacation. So she doesn't get her ksuba. She's misparnes until she reaches the 200 zuz, let's say. Ksuba is 200 zuz, so she eats food until she gets to 200. And Rashi says something very interesting. Why can't we just give her the ksuba in one shot? Why do we give her a little piecemeal? Because she knows that. Well, he says it more on Mace, but at the end of the day, she's playing a game here. She knows that he might be alive, so she thinks that if she gets the ksuba one shot and he comes back, she's going to lose. She's not going to get anything. All she's going to get is her ksuba maybe, but that's it if they're divorced. But what she wants to do is eat mizaynus, and then when he shows up, then she's going to get the ksuba. Because once she gets the ksuba, it's all over. Interesting pshat, because she's saying that he's dead. She's saying he's divorced. She's anticipating he's coming back. Okay, we have to understand. So the Gemara, same answers we had over and over and over. They heard that he's dead, and therefore, even Shmuel admits that she gets mizaynus. Maybe I jumped Rashi too early. At the end of the day, he's dead. And if he's dead, she should get mizaynus forever. There's no limit to how much she gets to eat. Why only the amount of the 200? Says the Gemara, the most obvious answer, she claims that she's divorced, so based on her claim, she's admitting that she doesn't deserve more than 200. You can't force her to get more than 200. She says, I don't want more than 200 because I'm divorced. So that's all she gets, is 200. Says the Gemara, we have to go all the way to the Mishnah, but I'm sorry, I can't do a long shir Motzei Shabbos. In what case do we say we have a little girl whose mother married her off because her father died? She doesn't have mezainis, but of course she has mezainis if she's married. So what is the case where she doesn't have mezainis? If she's married, of course she gets mezainis. Her husband went away. She borrowed money and she ate. She's married. But then she's memayin. What happens when she's memayin? Retroactively, she wasn't married. So all the money she borrowed, and she was hoping that her husband's going to pay back. It's not even her husband, so he doesn't have to pay back. It's only because she retroactively annulled the whole marriage. It seems like you do give her. This is kasha on Shmuel. The whole time, it's only kasha on Shmuel. Shmuel says you don't give a married woman zaynis. What is the problem here? If you're concerned that he gave her a package of money, he would never give her. She's too young. And if you think that they made a deal, but a little girl is not going to make more money than her mezainis cost. My havelach. At the end of the day, what's the halacha? When Rav Dimi came to Bavel, he said, does anybody remember where Rebbe lived? Where did we just had a whole sugi. When Rebbe was nifter, where did he live? Beis Sha'arim. But the Gemara said Tzipayri. Okay, I just want to make sure that you're paying attention. He went to Beis. There's a story with the Eishasish, claims my husband ran away, he's not here, I need mezainis. He said, like Rav, she deserves mezainis. Lefnei Rabbi Shmuel, B'tzipayri, remember? Tzipayri, v'loi pasuk la mezainis. Psak was like Shmuel, no mezainis. Rabbi Yochanan asked, V'chamar Rabbi Shmuel, shalei pasuk la mezainis. Why? That's what we had in the Mishnah, before in the Gemara. The whole machlokes in the Mishnah was only whether or not she has to swear. Everybody admits that there's mezainis. We already explained the Mishnah that's talking about where there was a rumor that the husband died, and if there's a rumor the husband died, then you start eating mezainis even according to Shmuel. What, you really, that's how you can explain the Mishnah? Now, we got a freebie here. Word for word what we just said, but instead of saying that Rebbe is the one that says she gets mezainis, it's fakert. Just the shittas are the opposite. Ravin said it the opposite. He lived in Beis Sha'arim, he said like Shmuel. The same thing as before, but he passing like Rav. We see in our Mishnah, everybody holds that she doesn't get mezainis. Talking about he died. What, that's how you learn the Mishnah? Says the Gemara, bottom line. The Rav, who comes to Bezdin and says, I need to be supported, we give her. The Rav, and another halacha. The Rav says, it's in the woman's interest to get mezainis. We're trying to help her, and we only give him her salary just that there shouldn't be ava and a fight. So therefore, if she says, I don't want to be supported, I'm a lawyer, I want to take my own money, we listen to her. And one more halacha. In vessels. Check this out. I have here the 3 vessels, earthenware, that is glazed with lead, very, very healthy stuff. If it's black, what's the concern? Earthenware, if something goes into the earthenware, whether it's nesech, treif, chametz, whatever it is, it never comes out. But if it's glazed, it can protect the vessel. If it's green glaze, it doesn't protect the vessel. That's what the Gemara says here. But I have a beautiful vart here from Rav Shteiman. Rav Shteiman takes this Gemara. Before you jump up, Hanimare de kunya, chivari white and black, sharu. You could kasher it, or the kosher. Yeruke, if it's green, asire. It's only because they don't have any cracks. Hold on a second, says Rav Shteiman, that us human beings, we're like kecheres hanishbar, we say on Rosh Hashanah. So if we have a protection, we have a layer of glaze that is black and white, Gemara, black and white, always black and white, then it gives us a protection. But if we're into dollars, the green, and not, and if we have cracks, in other words, we have cracks in our immune or whatever, then it doesn't work. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Shir Matzah Shabbos at 8:30 sharp.